All right, let's jump right in. If you've ever found yourself trying to shove just one more high-performance card into a server that's already packed to the gills, then you are in exactly the right place. In this explainer, we're going to walk through the entire process for setting up a PCIe expansion unit, from start to finish. We're going to make this super clear and easy to follow.
So here's the game plan for how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll talk about why you'd even need one of these in the first place. Then we'll peek under the hood at the core architecture. From there, we'll get hands-on with the step-by-step installation. And finally, we'll cover the most important part, how to make sure it all worked and what to do if it didn't.
First up, let's tackle the fundamental problem here. Why do we even need to go beyond the server box?
I mean, this is a classic problem, right? You're building an absolute beast of a machine for AI, for data analytics, whatever it is, and you literally run out of physical space. You've got more GPUs or more high-speed network cards than you have slots. The server is full, but you still need more horsepower. So what's the move?
Well, this right here is the elegant solution. Think of the expansion unit as just a bigger garage for your server. It's an external box that extends your server's main data highway, its PCIe bus, giving you a ton of new slots. And the best part? Your server's operating system has no idea these new cards are in a separate box. To the OS, it looks like they're plugged right into the motherboard. It's seamless.
So how does this magic actually work? It all comes down to something called a host-to-target bridge. Now, don't let the name intimidate you. It's really just a perfectly matched pair of adapter cards. One card goes in your server, that's the host, and the other goes in the expansion unit, that's the target. Together, they create this dedicated, super fast, private tunnel for data to fly back and forth.
Okay, so now that we get the basic idea, let's dive a little deeper and look at the core architecture, because you've got some options here depending on what you're trying to do.
This is where things get really interesting, because you've got a choice to make. On the left, we've got a 5-slot setup. Every single one of those slots gets the maximum possible bandwidth. Think of it like a 5-lane superhighway. On the right, though, we have an 8-slot setup. You get more slots, but the bandwidth is shared between them. So the question is, do you need maximum speed for a few devices, or just more devices in general?
And what if even 8 slots isn't enough? Well, you can go even bigger. Check this out. You can actually link 2 of these backplanes together inside one box. So you could hook 2 8-slot backplanes together to create a monster 16-slot system, all running from a single host server. Pretty wild, right? Now, that physical connection we talked about, the tunnel between the server and the expansion unit, is made by these host bus adapters. The main difference between these two options here really boils down to bandwidth. The one on the left gives you 32 lanes of data over a single cable. The one on the right is a beast, giving you 72 lanes, but it needs 2 cables to deliver all that throughput.
All right, enough theory. Time for the fun part. Let's get our hands dirty and walk through the actual hardware installation. Don't worry, we're going to do this together, one step at a time.
This is our playbook right here. It's a pretty logical flow. First, you populate the expansion unit with all your shiny new cards. Then, you put the host adapter in the server and the target adapter in the expansion unit. After that, you just do a quick physical check to make sure everything's pushed in firmly, connect the big link cables between them, and finally, you plug in the power. Simple as that.
Okay, everybody, stop. Before you even think about touching a power switch, we need to talk. This quote here highlights what is, without a doubt, the single most important rule of this entire process. There is a very specific power-on sequence you have to follow. I'm serious. If you get this wrong, it's just not going to work.
Step 1, and only step 1. You power on the external expansion unit first. That's it. Let it spin up. You'll hear the fans kick on, the lights will blink. Just give it a second to wake up.
Only after the expansion unit is fully up and running, then you can power on the main host server. This order is absolutely critical. Why? Because it lets the server's brain, its BIOS, wake up, look around, and properly discover all that awesome new hardware you just connected to it.
So you've carefully followed all the steps, you nailed the critical power-on sequence, and everything is humming along. Now for the moment of truth. Let's see how we can verify that it all actually worked. This is super simple. It's a 2-level check. First up is the hardware level, or what I call the eyeball test. Just look at the back of the adapter cards on both the server and the expansion unit. You're looking for a solid green link light. Green is good. Then you do the OS level check. Pop open a terminal in your operating system and type LSPCI. If you see your new cards listed there, congratulations, you did it.
But what happens if you run that command and nothing? Your new devices are nowhere to be found. Okay, first thing, don't panic. This is the most common hiccup, and there's a really simple roadmap to fix it. This little matrix is your best friend.
And would you look at that? What is action number 1 on the list? Verify the power sequence. It's almost always the culprit. Did you maybe boot the host first by accident? No big deal. Just shut everything down and do it again in the right order. The other steps are just as simple. Are the cables pushed in all the way? Are the cards sitting in their slots nice and snug? It's usually a quick fix.
So when you boil it all down, you now have the blueprint for some truly massive server expansion. The ability to add 16 or more high-performance devices to just one machine, that just opens up a whole universe of possibilities. So the only question left is, with all that power at your fingertips, what incredible thing are you going to build next?